Good morning, colleagues. My name is Susana Gauna Saez. I am a research program officer in DG Agriculture and Rural Development of the European Commission. And I'm very happy to be able to speak to you today. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be with you in person, but I hope you can be happy with a recorded presentation on my side. So first of all, let me just share my presentation with you. Indeed, well, first of all, I wanted to thank the colleagues from INPA for the kind invitation. We believe it is indeed a very important moment for agroecology, and it's important also to say what the EU is doing actually in this area. I am going to focus, as you can see, on research and innovation, because I'm working in the Unit for Research and Innovation at the European Commission, and I am particularly responsible for programming research and innovation activities on agroecology, agroforestry, and also organic farming. I wanted to just give you a very brief overview of how agroecology is featuring in EU policy priorities. As you may be aware, well, the Green Deal, European Green Deal, that was already published at the end of 2019, gave a strong push for agroecology, notably in two of its main strategies, so the Farm to Fork strategy and also the EU biodiversity strategy, both of which recognize the need to foster and to promote further sustainable farming practices such as agroecology and also agroforestry and organic farming. But not only these two strategies are relevant for agroecology, as you may know, also the Zero Pollution Ambition, more recently published, recognizes the potential of agroecology in achieving those targets, leading towards zero pollution. And also the EU forestry strategy could be mentioned in the context, in particular for the recognition of the role of agroforestry and also the need to increase research in this area. But not only in those strategies and under the European Green Deal, we can speak of, let's say, a political push for agroecology in Europe. Also, the CAP has recognized explicitly the potential that agroecology can have in achieving the environmental and climate targets of the Common Agricultural Policy. And indeed, as you may be aware, under the CAP, there is a new tool, which are the eco schemes, which are really a possibility, a tool for member states to allocate money from the first pillar of the CAP for rewarding farmers who want to go beyond the obligations that they have under the Common Agricultural Policy, let's say, in terms of respecting the environment and climatic ambition. So those farmers who want to go beyond with certain practices can be rewarded through these eco schemes. And the important thing there is that agroecology is recognized as one of the practices that can be supported under this scheme. There are some examples provided. You can have a look at the eco schemes. They are perfectly available online, and I give you also the link to it at the end of the presentation. But also I should mention the Organic Action Plan. As you may know, and part of the Farm to Fork strategy was also a push for organic farming in Europe, and there we believe that from the point of view of research, everything that we do on agroecology and on organic farming can easily and nicely complement each other. So we find the Organic Action Plan is also a push for looking towards more and a better understanding of how agroecology can be implemented in different parts of Europe. So, but why do we need research in agroecology? As you may wonder, of course, in the area of research and innovation, we have done already a lot in the past. So we are not starting now with research and innovation because the Green Deal or the Farm to Fork or these strategies are calling for it. Indeed, already in 2016, we developed our strategic approach to EU agricultural research and innovation. And there, ecological approaches from farm to landscape was one of the 5 priorities of this strategy. That led to actually a big portfolio of projects funded under Horizon 2020, so the period 2014 to 2020, of around a new contribution of 240 or 50 million euro and more than 40 projects working on different aspects of, let's say, understanding of implementation of agroecological practices, also including agroforestry and organic farming. You will have the link to those fact sheets that you see on the screen at the end of the presentation. More recently, we have actually prepared a results pack on agroecology, prepared really for the Farm to Fork conference that recently took place. So it's an illustration that of the efforts that we are doing at the EU level, at least from the angle of research and innovation, because agroecology is really an area for research. So what are the opportunities and what are the challenges that we see in agroecology? And I think this is quite widely recognized, what you see on the screen. So first of all, agroecology is a holistic approach, and it has the potential to transform agricultural systems, enhance the sustainability performance. So looking at the social, economic, environmental, climate, and healthier diets also of agri-food chains. So these are recognized, as I said earlier, specifically under the farm to fork and biodiversity strategies. But agroecology, what it means is really that we rely more on nature and ecosystem services and less on synthetic inputs and more on diversity. So it implies really a redesign of farming systems, a true redesign of farming systems, but this increased complexity. So this is a bit of a challenge that it brings. Agroecology is also highly context specific. So what works in one place cannot necessarily work in the neighborhood or in the next region or in the next landscape. Scale matters, of course. We need to look at what happens at the farm level when we implement agroecological practices, but also what happens at the landscape and the territorial level. So it is very much a matter of scale, the impact of agroecological practices. It's also an area that offers, for these reasons, a strong potential for innovation. And this, from our perspective, includes also the potential role that digitalization can have in improving the uptake and the understanding of agroecology, and also offers quite an important room for social innovation, also because agroecology, as you know, goes beyond the environmental and economic sustainability of farming, and also touches and has a very important component that is the social component. So what have we seen, and some of the results we've had with these research projects that I mentioned earlier. I didn't go into detail, but what we see and what we understand in terms of the barriers that we see from that agroecology uptake can have, and where research can help. There are many. Some of them are here because it's impossible to be very comprehensive here, but I think there is quite a lot of agreement that some of the barriers are here. So one of them is, to start with, the lock-ins of more conventional farming approaches that prevent the development of agroecological approaches. So it is easier, by lock-ins we mean it is easier for farmers to buy pesticides and fertilizers. It is easier and maybe cheaper than abandoning them completely and adopting more nature-based solutions for adopting agroecology. This is unfortunately still the reality. It is easier, but that's also because there is a lack of knowledge in many areas. This is a very simplistic way of saying it, but it is one of the most important barriers, actually. There are no gaps, and there are barriers from the point of view of the practical implementation of agroecology. So we need to understand the strategies that work best in specific contexts. For instance, a criticism that agroecology has is that perhaps it has less yields, but this is also not 100% confirmed, or no agreement on it. There's also increased risk for farmers because of the need to move to something that is a little bit more uncertain and not relying so much on inputs. There is also sometimes lack of market outlets, and also breeding and so many other aspects. There are also knowledge gaps, for instance, on the ecological processes at the appropriate spatial level, socioeconomic challenges, and also valorization of ecosystem services. So these are still things where research can provide still a lot of contribution. The knowledge management and sharing at different levels, farmer to farmer, within and among regions, countries, EU level, etc. It's also an important aspect of data availability, both at the scale and time, and also harmonization of this data, different data sources. It's an important barrier for better understanding agroecology and its impact when it's implemented in different contexts. There is a lack of tools to evaluate and measure the performance of agroecology from all the dimensions that we mentioned earlier. We lack also structures and mechanisms that allow to co-create innovative solutions to the local challenges, involving the end users along with other relevant stakeholders. And this is what we want to address later on, and we'll explain with notably with the new concept of living labs implemented in agroecology. There is also an important aspect of lack of consumer awareness and cooperation with other parts of the agri-food chain. This is inevitably an aspect that needs to be looked at when we want to promote agroecology. And also an important aspect is that policies that incentivize and reward agroecological farming are perhaps still not fully there. So this is something that needs to be still looked at. And also research policies need to be ready to support new and innovative ways of doing research that are more adapted to the specificities of agroecology. So I wanted to just give you this overview. I hope it's useful. Really the message is that at least from the research and innovation perspective, in Europe, we are really devoting a lot of efforts really to demonstrate the potential of agroecology. We believe it's an approach that can help us achieve all our ambitions, at least from the perspective of the agri-food systems, and achieving really a more resilient and more sustainable, environmental friendly, and also healthier diets, very important in the EU. So here I leave you some more information if you want to have a look. If you have any questions, I would be happy to reply to you. I'm very sorry that I cannot be with you. So thank you very much for your attention.